Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Linnea and today we're gonna have a little bit of a chat about reading habits, I guess. So my reading has changed a lot over a 10-year span. I've always been a reader, but I averaged around 10 books a year, maybe 15 sometime. But little by little, that started to change as I picked up new habits and found things that not just made me read more, but like made me more curious about new books and helping me pick up my books more often. The first thing that we're going to talk about is goals, because a lot of people have reading goals. I see people wanting to read like 100 books a year and stuff like that. But for me, that's never been like a realistic thing to do, having such high goals. I do have goals though. I've always set them kind of ridiculously low. When I started to read more, up to like 30 books a year, I usually put like 12 books as my first reading goal and then changed it throughout the year, depending on how much I read. Because having a very, very reachable goal has really worked for me. It has removed that pressure that I'm not doing so well with. But I've still had something to like reach for and to check off every time I finish a book, and getting closer to that first goal and then changing it and getting closer again. That's worked for me. In 2025, I did start a goal of 10 pages a day, which also helped me like at least pick up the book once a day, even though I sometimes didn't feel like it. 10 pages felt like a small number to me, and that was the intention, having something very reachable that made me pick the book up, and then it turned into like 35 or 150 sometimes, but like that initial little push to help me pick up the book. Next is picking the book. So I used to buy books that I intellectually felt that this is what I should read. It was more of like an outside perspective, almost like how I wanted to be perceived as a reader, which is a bit ridiculous in retrospect. But that was then, and this is now. And I stopped doing that a couple of years ago and just focused on what I feel like reading, and realized how much of a mood reader I actually am. With this said, it doesn't mean that I don't challenge myself in my reading, because I feel like that is fun and developing as well. It's just that I don't gravitate towards only those types of books. Sometimes I want to pick up a book that is just fun and games, and sometimes I want to challenge myself in another way. But after I started leaning more towards mood reading, I started reading more. Then we have one of, I think, my biggest game changers, at least for me, which is parallel reading. I used to read one book at a time, and if I didn't like that book, I tended to just not pick it up, and then I wouldn't read because I only read one book. But with reading several books parallel to each other, I always have something that I feel like reading, and I try to make those a little bit different from each other. Like sometimes you want to watch a crime show, but another time you just want to watch New Girl, And I know that a lot of people DNF books, but I don't tend to do that. So I really want to get through the books that I'm not enjoying 100% as well, and parallel reading helps me do that. It might take me 5 months to finish the boring book, but I'm finishing it and I usually take something from it as well. That said, DNFing could probably work really well for me in other aspects. Maybe I would pick up more of the books that has been sitting on my shelf for forever if I just let myself DNF it if I didn't like it. But parallel reading has been great for the amount of reading that I'm doing now compared to 10 years ago. Other habits that has helped me is carrying a book with me wherever I go. Like, I really jumped on a tram to go to a wedding and regretted instantly that I didn't bring the book to the wedding. I wouldn't have read it during the wedding, but I really wanted it on that tram. I tend to always bring a book with me. I tend to always regret when I don't. Even dating, like if I didn't enjoy the date, at least I got some reading done on the tram there and back. And I tend to not hate waiting as much anymore as well, because I can always pick up my book and read, and I'm not on my phone as much as well. So I really like that. But yeah, but I'm a person who can read kind of like wherever. I know that that's not the case for a lot of people, but just bringing the book with me, it's not always that I read it, but I do tend to get more reading done. Other habits that have changed for me is banning my phone from my bedroom. A couple of years ago, I had issues sleeping, and I decided that I was not going to bring my phone into my bedroom anymore. I was going to charge it outside and just leave it there, and it helped a lot with stress and anxiety, I must say. But it also created a really solid reading routine for me, incorporated in my sleeping routine. So now it's like so deeply rooted that sometimes when it's like 2:00 and I've been out with friends, I still had to read a couple of pages before I go to sleep. And lastly, we've got prompts. Prompts has been a fun way for me to explore and find new books. Picking up books that maybe I didn't initially look at, but it's like the prompt highlighted that book for me. And I use it when I don't know what to read or I want to mix it up a little bit, trying to explore something new. And it's just like, sort of like a fun game, you know? Like I feel like that is like the themes of this is like building new habits, finding curiosity, and having fun reading. I think those are like my 3 pillars for these 10 years and how my reading has evolved over time. So yeah, I hope that this can help you evolve in your reading and create some new habits of your own that works for you. It doesn't have to be exactly how I do it. You have your takeaway from this. I just want to encourage everyone to pick up more books and have fun with it, you know? Please let me know your best tricks to read more and what has helped develop your reading over time. I'm really curious to know. And also, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm so grateful that you've been here today, and I'll see you in the next one.